Gracious Father, thank you for giving us another opportunity, Father, just to come here, Father, to meet and discuss your business for this city, Father, and this community, Father. Father, we just thank you for this city and this community, Father. Father, we just thank you for the people that live in this community and this city, Father. We just thank you for the people that want this community and this city to be what you want it to be, Father. Father, give us the steadfast and the wisdom and knowledge, Father, that the city council and mayor can continue to lead this city in the direction you want to go, Father. We ask these blessings in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call this the April 13, 2021 meeting of the City of Smith Station, Alabama. Thank you, Mr. Stringer, for having the pledge and the prayer. At this time, I'd like to ask City Clerk Mr. Bryce to have a roll call vote to establish the quorum.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Mr. Stringer?
Here.
Mr. Jackson?
Here.
Mr. Lanston?
Here.
Mr. Cooley? Here. Ms. Green?
Here.
Mayor Copeland?
Here. We rescheduled our meeting to March 22nd due to having an event on March 23rd. You have the city council meetings for that night, minutes for that night. Are there any additions or corrections? If there are none, I ask for a motion second to approve.
Motion to approve.
Cooley,
Second.
Green, thank you.
Mayor Copeland,
Yes.
make a motion we suspend rules of ordinance and resolutions so that we can address the resolutions that come before us tonight.
Mr. Cooley's made a motion to suspend the rules and ordinances. Mr. Bryce, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Jackson. Any discussion? Can I have a roll call vote, sir?
Yes, sir. Mr. Stringer?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lanston?
Yes.
Mr. Cooley?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mayor Copeland?
Yes. Moving along to item number 7, resolutions. 2021-417, Roy Green Public Works Contract. I'll let Mr. Bryce introduce that.
A resolution 2021-417, a resolution for the city of Smith Station, Alabama, authorizing Mayor Copeland to enter into a contract with Roy Green as a public works employee for the city of Smith Station.
We get a motion second.
Motion to approve.
Jackson, second by Ms. Green. Guys, the reason why we do contracts is, we don't want to put him as an employee yet. He needs to have a 6-month period where we know if he's able to do the job or not. That's why you have to vote on, if it was an employee, I can just go ahead and do it. But he doesn't need to put on our insurance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, our retirement insurance until we do this. He's worked out pretty well so far. You have a kid named Bryce that's also, Bryce Beckworth is also on contract. And also Steve is also on contract. Steve should be coming off contract very soon, but this is kind of a testing period to find out before we put him on the city employee.
So he's been here for what, about a month?
A little less than a month. He's one of the drivers. He does trash on Mondays and Tuesdays, and he also follows the tractor on some days. And he's out today. He had some health issues, but he should be back tomorrow, he had said today. Any other discussion? Not being brought forth, I call for the vote.
Sir, Mr. Stringer?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lanston?
Yes.
Mr. Cooley?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mayor Copeland?
Yes. Moving right along to 2021-418, authorized for Mayor Copeland to accept bid and enter contract with Burris Lawn Services for Lee Road 490 Meadow Place improvements. Mr. Bryce?
Sir. Resolution 2021-418, a resolution for the city of Smith Station, Alabama, authorizing Mayor Copeland to accept the bid and enter into a contract with Burris Lawn Services for Lee Road 490 improvements.
You've heard the introduction of Resolution 2021-418. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Billy, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Jackson, any discussion? I would like it to be known that this contract was substantially cheaper than any of those turned in. That's the reason why we went with this. No discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Sir. Mr. Stringer?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lansing,
Yes.
Mr. Cooley,
Yes.
Ms. Green,
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
2021-419, I'll let Mr. Bryce get called up.
I'm good. Flip to this one. All right. Resolution 2021-419, a resolution of the City of Smith Station, Alabama, to exempt certain covered item from the municipal sales and use tax during the period of time beginning at 12:01 a.m. on July 16, 2021, and ending 12 midnight Sunday, July 18, 2021, as authorized by Title 40, Chapter 23, Article 7 of the Code of Alabama, 1975, generally referred to as the back-to-school state sales tax holiday legislation.
You've heard the introduction of the back-to-school sales tax holiday. Can I get a motion, a second?
I make a motion we accept that.
Stringer, can I get a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Cooley. Mr. Bryce, what is the website that you can go to to see what is exempt?
It's the Alabama Department of Revenue, and if you type in the back-to-school sales tax holiday, it'll pull up a list of items, a PDF, and it runs through everything that's tax exempt, everything.
Okay. Can you do some research for the council, please? When you were out doing copies, the council had a question. If I order tennis shoes off of DickSportingGoods.com, Zappos.com, Amazon.com, et cetera, that I may use for my daughter to go back to school, how is that being tax exempt via the Alabama State tax holiday?
Okay.
Can you find that out for us?
Yes, sir, I'll look into that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Well, none being brought forth, I call for the vote.
Yes, sir. Mr. Stringer?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lansing?
Yes.
Mr. Cooley?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Yeah. Event coordinator for the city of Smith Station, Alabama, Ms. Taylor Dabowski, has asked the council to approve 2 dates for use on Saturday. And Ms. Green has brought to our attention that we need to do an ad hoc amend to this. And that is, will you please add Sunday, April the 25th to your paper?
May 25th, or?
Sunday, April
April
25th.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay.
These 3 events need to be approved by the council. There is nothing else that's city related to this. These are events, birthday parties that are booked. Can I get a motion second to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Green,
Second.
second by Mr. Jackson. Thank you, guys. We have a district attorney that is outstanding. Ms. Jessica Vanatieri has asked us as a city to do something on behalf of the district attorney's office, as well as the citizens of Smith Station, as well as citizens of Lee County. The first one being Sexual Awareness Month, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, a proclamation, and I shall read it in its entirety. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in the community. And whereas rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment harm our communities, and statistics show that 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men will be raped at some point in their lives. Whereas child sexual abuse prevention must be the priority to confront the reality of 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will experience a sexual assault before the age of 18. Whereas young people experience heightened rates of sexual violence, and youth ages 12 to 17 were 2 to 5 times likely to be victims of rape or sexual assault. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about sexual violence prevention, supporting survivors, and speaking out against harmful attitudes and actions. And whereas the first step is increasing education, awareness, and community involvement to create safer environments for all. Now therefore be resolved, the City of Smith Station City Council and the Mayor F.L. Little Copeland hereby proclaim April 2021 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Witnessed to herein by my signature on April the 13th, 2021. I'll get a picture with you guys in just a second. Also, Crime Victims Month. Whereas being a victim of crime and navigating the criminal justice system can be frightening and a confusing experience. And whereas progress in improving the treatment of crime victims has been made throughout the efforts of thousands of victims and survivors who have turned their own experiences into force for positive change, ensuring that others can receive justice, meaningful assistance, and compassionate treatment before the law. And whereas the passage of the Victim of Crimes Act of 1984 and through the dedicated work of advocates, lawmakers, victim service providers, there's a growing array of services and resources available to victims and their loved ones. And whereas individuals trust and compassion, understanding, and support of their communities and achieve through sustained, deep-rooted, and coordinated outreach. And whereas our community continued engagement with the challenges faced by the victims of crime will ensure that the progress made to date is not lost, and the new groundbreaking has gained greater justice and healing for all victims. And whereas National Crime Victim Rights Week provides an opportunity to commit to ensuring the accessibility of appropriate and trauma-informed services are offered to all victims of crime. And whereas the City of Smith Station is hereby dedicated to supporting victims and survivors of aftermath of crime, building trust among our citizens, collaborating with our service providers, and engaging in our community response efforts. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Smith Station, as well as the City Council, declare April 18th through April 24th, 2021 as Crime Victims' Rights Week. I'm going to get the city clerk to sign it. We'll take a picture.
Yes.
I'd like for you guys to come up. Present you with the sexual assault awareness. I'll present you with the crime victims. And I'll get between you two guys, or however you want to do it. We'll take pictures. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you helping us with the county and being represented the Smith Station as well as the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
In your packets. Thank you. I want to say this, if you don't mind, I'll tell you about it in a minute. Are there any public comments?
Yes, sir.
To anyone that's publicly speaking, I would like to read to you. You are testifying before a public body. Each member of the City Council of the City of Smith Station is a public servant, voted by the people of the city. Any false statement made to a public servant for the purpose of acquiring benefit or through lying may be prosecuted as provided in Section 13A-10.109 of the Code of Law of 1975. At this time, the first person to have signed in, and I will remind you that your comments are limited to 3 minutes. Mr. David Thomas.
I'm David Thomas. I'm spokesperson for the Thomas family and other members on State Road 295. I sent an email yesterday. Did each one of you receive one? If
Yes.
not, I have some extra to pass out.
I also called you yesterday and didn't get a response.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry. But as I was saying, I sent the email. But greeting and blessing to you always, the City of Smith Station. I'm speaking on behalf of the Thomas family and other members on Lee Road 295. After hearing the decision of the council to rename the road many of us grew up on. We decided to voice our disapproval and begin an appeal process. And please note the following. 5 members lived on that road: Ryle, Stringer, Thomas, Weeks, and Weeks. And only 2 were singled out: Stringer and Weeks. This declares in no uncertain terms that Stringer and Weeks' family are viewed differently from other 3 families: Ryle, Thomas, and Weaver. They are all employed. The Stringer, the Weeks, and the Thomas are 3 families of 3 biological sisters, the McCoys. Thus, how could 2 sisters be more important than the other sister? Why were 2 sisters' names included in the renaming of the road and the Thomas name was omitted altogether? There are still 2 Thomases on the road, one by birth and one by marriage. One is my sister right here, Bernice, and one, Mildred Thomas, my sister-in-law. All residents on the road were not notified nor contacted about the name change. Thus, they were not provided an opportunity to state their preference for the new road name. Miss Molly Ryle, our school teacher, and the lady that ran the school, she taught me, she taught my older sister, my cousin, and Mr. Perry Weaver, a prominent member on that road. Their name was omitted. We thought that a neutral name would be after one of our heroes, such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, or Unity Road, Family Road, and so forth. These changes, the name change, should not cause any ill feeling nor leave anyone asking why. Posting an announcement in the center, a council or workplace or website appear to be an attempt not to inform the residents on Lee Road. Posting signs along Lee Road would have been definite, been noticed, and read by the residents. In addition, written letters could have been done. As you can see, this has not been considered to be fair, just positive for all who grew up on this road. Thus, we are humbly asking for a repeal of the name change. Thank you and the council for hearing and considering this matter.
Mr. David, I appreciate you reaching out to us. We are going to be in discussion about this, and you'll get a written letter in return of your email that you sent to us. I promise you within a week, we'll have a written letter back to you within a week of this meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Of the council's decision.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you and the council.
Thank you. Good to meet you, Mr. David.
All right, thank you. Same here.
I left my number on your voicemail if you need to talk to me anytime.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Harry Thomas, please limit your comments to 3 minutes, sir.
Let's say, first of all, good evening. And I have a list of names of people that live on Road 295, and they wasn't aware of the road being changed. And then my brother and I, there's some of the residents live there, they were reluctant to sign the name, but they said they would be glad to come out to the meeting. So they did not receive any kind of notice that the road's going to be changed. And I passed it out.
You can pass it to council for agreement.
I can pass it.
Okay, but I'd like to get this passing. While you're passing out, wait a minute. Everyone has one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first name is Bernice Stringer, Robert Baker, live at 343 Lee Road 295, Bradley Johnson, 505 Lee Road 295, Mildred Thomas, Betty Fuller, Linda Fuller, Rosie Oaks, and David Oaks. And like I said, those are the names that the one that we got in contact with. And several more of them said they would come to me, but they reluctant to sign their name. But like my brother said, we would like for you all to take it under consideration, to do whatever you think is right about this matter.
I consider this to be the Thomas family representation, am I correct in saying that?
That's correct.
Is it okay that we talk through David Thomas and he talked through y'all, because it's very complicated to talk to everyone, is that okay?
Right.
Okay, he'll get a correspondence from us, but I would like to address with you, Mr. Harry, the way we are required as a state of Alabama to make a statement or a change. Due to the Alabama State Code of 1975, we have 4 places that we put out public notices. One is at the post office, one is at the Rainbow Foods, one is at Terry's Groceries, and one is here. We went above and beyond with this. We also posted it in the Opelika Observer, as well as our public national Facebook, as well as our website page. And I am 100% sorry that it was not, no one saw that. I do know that the Weeks family saw it, I know the Stringer family saw it, I know a myriad of other people saw it. I do realize that there's a lack of communication, and I do realize that I understand where you're coming from, that there needs to be a better communication, especially with our elderly. And we need to address that as a city. But as far as the legalities are concerned, we met our requirements by the state of Alabama law, how we're supposed to post this. So I don't want anyone to think we've done anything in the dark. But you will hear a response from us as a city council within a week from today.
Okay. Let's say one more thing, and
Absolutely.
the reason the Thomas family here tonight, because the last time you had me, we wasn't aware, what was going on until we came out here, and the name, and I guess the Stringer and Weeks name, that it was like a lot of Weeks like it. And that's why when I was Thomas, we wasn't here, because we wasn't aware of the last moment.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to tell you a funny story before you sit down. As a young man growing up in Smith Station, I spent a lot of nights on Lee Road 295 at Kiki Weeks' house, is her brother Keith Weeks' house. And I know those families very well, and these 2 fellows raised me along with Robert Thomas and a bunch of the Thomas family. I didn't realize that all y'all was so intertwined until Lee Road 295 got named. I learned me a very valuable lesson. Everybody's family. So I promise you, we're going to look into it, and we'll give you an answer from the council. That will be a way for you to have your opinion as part of this. But I want to let you know we did our due diligence, but you'll get a response probably from the city clerk, Mr. Bryce. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor.
Please, you can come back up.
Okay. I just have a couple of questions, because
Your comment is about 1 minute left on yours.
I just have a couple of questions, because there's been some confusion. I know, and I feel that the council, did the council actually vote on Stringer Weeks Road?
Yes, sir, we did.
Or when was that vote taken? I know the minutes that I pulled up, I didn't see it in that minute, and that minute said that on the 22nd, there will be, March 22nd, there will be another meeting, and the
You'll have to
Road
forgive me.
295 will come up. Did that come up, and was it voted in that meeting that it will be Stringer Weeks Road?
Yes, sir, you'll have to forgive me because I don't have my notes in front of me. But it's on our website. I challenge you to go on our website. You will see that it was voted and approved with a 1-year moratorium. I don't know the date, and I apologize, but it's on our website.
The minutes I have right here is March 9th. I pulled it up on the website, yes, it's March 9th. And it says, Councilmember Colin, City Attorney Chancey addressed the council and discussed the name issue on Lee Road and asked the council to address at the March 22nd meeting.
Those dates will be addressed. I will make sure those dates are addressed with you in the email we return.
Okay. And another, another concern. It's been an issue as to who nominated Weeks Stringer Road. Can anyone address that? And if, before they can, I can't see how Week Springer can come up and the Thomases are not in that same vein.
Can we address that in the letter we
Yes,
sent?
okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
That will be a whole nother minute conversation, but Mr. Bryce is taking notes. You have everything he's asked. Yes, sir. Okay. All those questions will be answered in the email. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again.
I had one of the most heart-wrenching emails that come to me from a student at Smith Station High School. The student said, I'm not going to name his name, but he wanted to inform me that he's not a very smart student, that he's a CD student, and that he is not going to have a scholarship, and he's not going to have the ability for family reasons to go to college. And he had noticed our efforts to talk about scholar athletes and scholar artists, but never thought about the blue collar worker that's going to get out of high school and have to go to work. It changed my perspective, it changed my thought process. And so I asked Morgan, I challenged Morgan, this has never been done before, but I challenged Morgan, and this is a surprise for this kid, to write us a blue collar proclamation. Whole Pride Week for Smith Station is May the 4th is on my calendar, I gotta be there. I'm going to read this over the intercom to this kid on that day and give him a city coin. I want to read it to you guys, that Morgan did a wonderful job with it. Whereas the vast majority of our young people are knowledgeable and responsible citizens, and many of these young students and citizens will immediately become blue-collar workers by joining the workforce immediately after high school. And whereas the residents of our city are pleased to join in express appreciation for these young students and citizens who will all work hard to make the world a better place. Therefore, I, Mayor F.L. Little Copeland, make sure we put city council in there more, please.
Yes, sir.
Hereby proclaim May 4th as Blue Collar Appreciation Week in the city of Smith Station. By this action, let it be known that we have faith in the abilities of today's youth as they assume future responsibilities, roles, and the future of our nation. I believe this kid being brave enough to reach out deserves this. So I want to let you that's just FYI. And it doesn't require a vote, but I just want you guys to be in there with me on that. Any council member comments, questions?
Only thing I'd like to say is that just minutes are 2 weeks behind because we don't approve minutes from the March 22nd meeting until tonight. We approved those, so then they get posted. So that's why you're not seeing the minutes from the March 22nd meeting, because they have to be approved, and then they'll be posted.
So in the next 24 hours, you can go to the website and see the meetings from the 22nd.
Okay.
Did you have something? Did you have something? No. Everybody else good? At this time, I'd like to recognize my good friend Chris Gates from CTV Bean for being here. And we always appreciate you guys covering the council meetings. Don't forget, this Saturday, we have the Baton Death March. What does that mean? It begins at 8 o'clock at our city park. In World War II, in 1942, a group of United States Army men were on the Philippine Islands and was taken by Japan. They were taken as prisoners of war and asked to walk some 14 miles to a prison camp. The Baton Death March is a 14-mile walk. It's usually done in Seattle, Washington, but this year it's virtual due to COVID. It was approached by a retired Army Ranger, and he asked us to sponsor this year. Once it got started, the Smith Station Ruck Club, the Smith Station Track Team, and several others joined in on the Baton Death March. It's happening this Saturday. It starts at our park at 8 a.m., rain or shine. I'm not asking you to walk 14 miles, but I am asking you to be there to support this. And if you want to walk 1 mile, there's going to be a 1 mile track, there's going to be a 4 mile track, and there's going to be a 14 mile track. So that is taking place this Saturday, and everyone that attends will receive a medal, a dog tag with the Baton Death March and the name of a fallen soldier that fell during the Baton Death March. Also, coming up this month, we have our Arbor Day Memorial, which will be at the Swing Park. That'll be April the 30th. Sometime around lunchtime, we'll let you know more details on that later. But we appreciate you being here, and we thank you so much. I'd like to entertain a motion with adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Jackson? Meeting adjourned.